Have you ever noticed how often we go through life on autopilot, repeating the same routines without questioning our purpose? George Gurdjieff's philosophy encourages us to wake up and take conscious control of our actions. It's a call to live intensely and authentically, exploring each moment with full awareness. Let's dive into this fascinating topic in 7 points that will inspire you to stop acting on autopilot and live a fuller, more conscious life. Point 1. The importance of self-knowledge. Have you ever wondered who you really are, beyond the roles you play and the labels you carry? Understanding yourself is the first crucial step to stop acting on autopilot. According to George Gurdjieff's philosophy, knowing your true self is like waking up from a deep sleep and starting to live consciously, authentically, and fully. Gurdjieff believed that most people live their lives asleep, operating in a state of automation where actions and thoughts are dictated by external habits and conditioning. This sleep state prevents us from experiencing life fully and limits our potential for personal growth and transformation. To wake from this sleep, embarking on a journey of self-knowledge is essential. Self-knowledge begins with self-observation. This isn't a superficial process of looking in a mirror, but a deep and honest examination of oneself. What motivates you? What do you fear? What are your recurring behavior patterns? For example, you might notice that in stressful situations, you tend to react with anger or anxiety. By observing this pattern, you can start to understand where it comes from and how it affects your relationships and decisions. Self-observation allows you to see these automatic reactions and gives you the chance to choose a more conscious and constructive response. Another key tool for self-knowledge is self-remembering, a central concept in Gurdjieff's teachings. Self-remembering is the act of being aware of yourself in the present moment, remembering your presence and purpose in every action. For instance, when you're having a conversation with someone, instead of being lost in your thoughts or worries, you practice being fully present, actively listening and responding attentively. This constant state of alertness helps break the cycle of automation and allows you to experience each moment with more clarity and meaning. Moreover, self-knowledge involves recognizing and accepting both your strengths and weaknesses. It's a continuous discovery process that lets you see your unique talents and capabilities, as well as the areas where you need growth. For example, you might realize you have a great ability for empathy, allowing you to connect deeply with others. At the same time, you might recognize that you tend to procrastinate when facing challenging tasks. With this knowledge, you can consciously work to improve and develop more positive habits. The practice of self-knowledge also leads you to question your beliefs and values. Often, our automatic actions are guided by unconscious beliefs we've acquired over a lifetime. These beliefs can be limiting and prevent you from reaching your true potential. By examining and challenging these beliefs, you can free yourself from them and adopt a broader, more liberating perspective. For example, if you believe you are not good enough to achieve a certain goal, the process of self-knowledge helps you challenge this belief and discover your true capabilities and possibilities. Furthermore, self-knowledge promotes greater authenticity. When you understand who you really are, you can live according to your true values and desires, rather than trying to meet others' expectations. This leads to a more satisfying and meaningful life. For example, if you discover you have a passion for art, but have been working in a job that doesn't satisfy you due to social or familial pressures, self-knowledge will give you the courage to pursue your passion and live in a way that truly fulfills you. Finally, self-knowledge allows you to establish a deeper connection with others. By understanding your own emotions and motivations, you can relate to others more authentically and empathetically. This improves your relationships and helps you build a network of support and love that is essential for emotional well-being and personal growth. For instance, by being aware of your own struggles and challenges, you can offer more genuine and supportive help to your friends and loved ones when they face their own difficulties. In summary, the importance of self-knowledge lies in its transformative power. It awakens us from the sleep of automation and allows us to live consciously, authentically, and fully. It is an ongoing journey of discovery that enriches our life and connects us with our true self. Through self-observation, self-remembering, accepting our strengths and weaknesses, questioning our beliefs, and seeking authenticity, we can break free from the chains of automation and live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Point 2. Awakening awareness through self-remembering. Imagine walking on a beautiful path but getting lost in your thoughts, completely forgetting the scenery around you. This is how many of us live our lives, distracted, forgetting the beauty and purpose of each moment. Gurdjieff teaches us to awaken our consciousness through self-remembering, an essential practice for stopping our automatic mode and living fully and consciously. Self-remembering is the act of being aware of oneself in the present moment. It means remembering your existence, your purpose, and your presence in every action and thought. This practice is like an alarm that wakes us from the sleep of automatism and brings us to greater awareness and control of our lives. Gurdjieff compared the state of self-forgetfulness to being asleep, where people move through life without really living it, trapped in their habits and automatic reactions. To start practicing self-remembering, it's useful to set specific times during the day to pause and observe oneself. For example, you might choose moments like waking up, eating, or walking to work. In these moments, you stop and ask yourself, where am I? What am I doing? What am I thinking? This simple act of pausing and questioning pulls you out of autopilot and into a state of increased awareness. Gurdjieff also suggested using physical reminders to maintain self-remembering. You could carry a special object in your pocket, like a stone or a coin, and every time you touch it, remind yourself to be present. This technique may seem simple, but it's surprisingly effective at breaking the cycle of forgetfulness and bringing the mind back to the present. Moreover, self-remembering isn't just an internal practice but extends to our interactions with the world and the people around us. When we talk to someone, we're often so caught up in our own thoughts and responses that we forget to really listen. Practicing self-remembering in these situations involves being fully present, actively listening, and responding with awareness. This not only improves the quality of our relationships, but also allows us to experience the moment with greater intensity and authenticity. Meditation is another powerful tool to cultivate self-remembering. Through meditation, we train our mind to stay focused and present. You can start with simple mindfulness meditations, where you focus on your breathing or the sensations in your body. This daily practice strengthens your ability to remember your presence and remain conscious in various everyday situations. It's important to recognize that self-remembering is a continuous practice. It's not something achieved once and for all, but requires constant and conscious effort. There will be times when you find yourself slipping back into automatism, but each time you realize and remind yourself, you're strengthening your ability to live consciously. Repeating this process over time allows you to live more awake and authentically. A practical example of self-remembering could be during a mundane task like washing dishes. Instead of letting your mind wander or rushing to finish quickly, focus on the sensation of the water on your hands, the sound of the water running, and the act of cleaning each dish. This conscious focus transforms a mundane task into an opportunity to practice presence and remember your being. Self-remembering also helps us recognize our emotions and automatic reactions. When facing a challenging situation, our usual response might be stress or anxiety. Practicing self-remembering in those moments allows us to pause, observe our reaction, and choose a more conscious and calm response. For instance, if you find yourself getting angry during an argument, remembering your presence can help you take a breath, calm down, and respond more constructively. The beauty of self-remembering is that it returns control over our lives. Instead of being swept away by the currents of automatism and reactivity, we can navigate with awareness and purpose. This practice opens us to a greater perception and appreciation of life, allowing us to experience each moment with freshness and clarity. In summary, awakening consciousness through self-remembering is a path to a fuller and more authentic life. It's a practice that pulls us out of the sleep of automatism and leads us to a state of greater presence and control. Through simple techniques like self-observation, using physical reminders, meditation, and constant practice in our daily activities, we can strengthen our ability to live consciously. Self-remembering allows us to experience life in its entirety with greater intensity and meaning, and connects us with our true self in every moment. Point 3. The power of self-observation. How often do you stop to observe your own thoughts, emotions, and actions? Most of us simply react to what happens to us without taking a moment to reflect on our responses. According to George Gurdjieff, self-observation is an essential tool for waking up from automatic living and achieving a state of greater awareness. By observing ourselves, we begin to understand who we really are and how we act in the world. Self-observation is the process of looking at ourselves with an open and non-judgmental mind. It's not about criticizing or judging our actions, but about becoming aware of them. For example, imagine you are in a conflict situation at work. Instead of immediately reacting with anger or frustration, you stop and observe yourself. How do you feel? What thoughts are going through your mind? What triggers your reaction? This simple act of self-observation gives you a perspective on your automatic behaviors and offers the possibility of choosing a more conscious response. Gurdjieff taught that self-observation is like having an internal mirror that reflects our true selves. This mirror shows us our actions and reactions as they are, without distortions. Through practicing self-observation, we begin to see patterns in our behavior that were previously invisible to us. For instance, you might notice that you tend to avoid certain tasks because you feel insecure about your abilities. By observing this pattern, you can start to work on your self-confidence and approach these challenges with a new perspective. Self-observation also reveals our underlying emotions. Often, our automatic reactions are driven by unrecognized emotions such as fear, sadness, or anger. By observing ourselves, we can identify these emotions and understand their origins. For example, if you find yourself feeling anxious every time you receive criticism, self-observation can help you discover that this anxiety stems from a past experience of rejection. With this understanding, you can begin to work on healing that emotional wound and respond to criticism more constructively. A crucial aspect of self-observation is honesty. We must be willing to see ourselves as we are, without disguising our flaws or exaggerating our virtues. This radical honesty allows us to confront our weaknesses and work on them. For example, if you notice that you often interrupt others during conversations, honest self-observation will enable you to recognize this tendency and make a conscious effort to listen more and speak less. The practice of self-observation also helps us develop self-acceptance. By observing ourselves without judgment, we learn to accept all parts of ourselves, both good and bad. This self-acceptance is essential for personal growth and emotional well-being. For instance, by accepting that you have a tendency to procrastinate, you can work on strategies to improve your productivity without feeling overwhelmed by guilt or shame. Self-observation is not a practice achieved overnight. It requires patience and consistency. Initially, it may be difficult to stay focused and remember to observe oneself. However, over time and with practice, it becomes second nature. A good exercise to start is to dedicate a few minutes each day to reflect on your actions and emotions of the day. You could keep a journal where you record your observations and reflections. This habit not only improves your self-observation, but also provides a record of your personal progress and growth. Furthermore, self-observation connects us more deeply with our environment. By being more aware of ourselves, we also become more aware of others and our interactions with them. This improves our relationships and allows us to be more empathetic and understanding. For example, by observing that you tend to react defensively when someone offers you a suggestion, you can learn to receive feedback with a more open and grateful mind. The power of self-observation lies in its ability to transform our lives. It takes us out of automatic mode and allows us to live with greater awareness and purpose. By observing ourselves, we discover our true motivations, emotions, and patterns of behavior. This knowledge gives us the power to make significant and positive changes in our lives. Instead of being slaves to our automatic reactions, we become the conscious creators of our destiny. In conclusion, self-observation is a powerful tool that helps us wake up from automatic living and live more consciously and fully. By practicing self-observation, we develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, our emotions, and our behavior patterns. This understanding allows us to make positive changes in our lives and improve our relationships with others. Self-observation leads us to a state of greater authenticity and allows us to live with renewed purpose and clarity. Point 4. Breaking the chains of mechanicity. Have you ever felt like you're living the same day over and over again, like a character trapped on a hamster wheel? This feeling of repetition and monotony is a clear sign of living in mechanicity, one of the main ideas George Gurdjieff explores in his philosophy. To awaken from this state, it is essential to break the chains of mechanicity and take conscious control of our lives. Mechanicity refers to the way we act automatically, without true awareness of our actions. It's as if we are puppets whose strings are pulled by habits, conditioned reactions, and pre-established patterns of thought. For example, consider your morning routine. You get up, brush your teeth, have breakfast, and head to work, all without really thinking about what you're doing. Each action is performed almost instinctively, without real mental presence. This robotic way of living can lead us to feel disconnected, dissatisfied, and empty. To break the chains of mechanicity, the first step is to become aware of our automatic routines. This requires a conscious effort to observe ourselves and our daily activities. Gurdjieff suggests that we start with small interruptions in our routines to awaken our attention. For example, if you always brush your teeth with your right hand, try using your left hand. This small change will force you to be present and conscious in the moment, thus breaking the cycle of mechanicity. Another effective way to break mechanicity is to question our established beliefs and habits. Many of our automatic actions are based on beliefs that we have never critically examined. For instance, you might believe that you need to work long hours to be successful, and thus you find yourself trapped in an endless cycle of work and stress. By questioning this belief, you can start exploring other ways of working that allow for a healthier work-life balance. This questioning frees you from automatic patterns and opens you up to new possibilities. Mindfulness practice is also a powerful antidote to mechanicity. By training our mind to be present in the here and now, we reduce the tendency to act automatically. Meditation is an excellent tool for cultivating mindfulness. Spend a few minutes each day sitting in silence, observing your breath and thoughts without judgment. This simple practice can transform the way you experience life, moving you from a state of automatism to one of full consciousness. Additionally, it is helpful to set conscious intentions for our actions. Instead of letting automatic habits direct our lives, we can consciously decide how we want to act and respond in different situations. For example, if you know you tend to react with impatience in traffic, set the intention to practice patience each time you find yourself in that situation. This act of setting intentions allows you to take control of your reactions and behaviors, freeing you from automatic responses. Another important aspect of breaking mechanicity is cultivating creativity. Mechanicity traps us in repetitive patterns, while creativity invites us to explore new ways of thinking and acting. Engaging in creative activities, such as painting, writing, or playing a musical instrument, pulls us out of our comfort zone and forces us to be present and conscious. For instance, if you decide to learn to play the guitar, each practice session will require your full attention, as your fingers and mind must coordinate to produce music. This practice not only breaks mechanicity but also enriches your life with new experiences and skills. Community and meaningful relationships also play a crucial role in breaking the chains of mechanicity. By surrounding ourselves with people who inspire and challenge us to grow, we are more likely to question our automatic habits and adopt new perspectives. Deep and authentic conversations with friends and mentors can open our eyes to our own limitations and possibilities for change. For example, a close friend might point out a behavior pattern you hadn't noticed, giving you the opportunity to reflect and change. Ultimately, breaking the chains of mechanicity leads us to a more conscious and meaningful life. It allows us to live each moment with greater appreciation and presence, instead of just going through the motions. By taking control of our actions and decisions, we free ourselves from the prison of automatic habits and discover a world full of possibilities and fulfillment. Gurdjieff reminds us that life is too precious to be lived on autopilot. We must awaken, take control, and live with full awareness and purpose. Breaking the chains of mechanicity is not an easy task, but with conscious effort and continuous practice, we can free ourselves and live a richer and more satisfying life. It is a journey of self-exploration and growth that leads us to discover our true potential and live each day with intention and presence. Point 5. Personal transformation through inner work. Have you ever felt that, despite making external changes in your life, something deep within you remains the same? George Gurdjieff teaches us that true personal transformation doesn't come from changing what's outside, but from intensively working on our inner selves. This inner work is at the heart of his philosophy and key to freeing ourselves from automatic mode and living with greater authenticity and purpose. Inner work begins with radical honesty. It's a process of looking inside ourselves bravely and unadorned, acknowledging our weaknesses, fears, and hidden motivations. For example, you might realize that your tendency to please others stems from a deep fear of rejection. Recognizing this truth about yourself can be painful, but it's the first essential step towards transformation. Without this honesty, any change we try to make will be superficial and temporary. Gurdjieff invites us to go beyond self-observation and delve into self-analysis. This process involves unraveling the layers of our psyche to understand why we act in certain ways. For instance, you might reflect on why you always react with anger when someone criticizes you. Perhaps you'll discover that these reactions stem from childhood experiences where you felt constantly judged and undervalued. Understanding these connections allows you to address the roots of your behavior instead of just the symptoms. Meditation and reflection are powerful tools in this inner work. Dedicating time each day to sit in silence, observing your thoughts and emotions, helps you develop a greater awareness of your inner world. This quiet space gives you the opportunity to listen to your deeper self and understand your true needs and desires. For example, while meditating, you might realize that what you truly long for isn't professional success, but a deeper connection with your loved ones. This understanding can guide you to make significant changes in your life. Inner work also requires confronting our shadows, those parts of ourselves we prefer to ignore or suppress. According to Gurdjieff, these shadows are essential aspects of our psyche that we must integrate to become whole. Instead of avoiding your fears and weaknesses, inner work invites you to face them directly. For example, if you are afraid of loneliness, instead of filling every moment with activity and company, you might choose to spend time alone, exploring and understanding this fear. As you confront and work with these shadows, you begin to diminish their power over you. A vital component of inner work is the practice of self-acceptance and forgiveness. Often, we are our harshest critics, punishing ourselves for our mistakes and failures. Gurdjieff emphasizes the importance of treating oneself with compassion and understanding. By accepting our imperfections and forgiving ourselves for our mistakes, we release a tremendous amount of energy previously trapped in self-criticism. For instance, instead of reproaching yourself for not meeting a goal, you could reflect on what you learned from the process and how you can apply those lessons in the future. Moreover, inner work is nourished by continuous learning and openness to new perspectives. Gurdjieff encourages us to seek knowledge and experiences that challenge our beliefs and expand our understanding of the world. This could involve reading books, attending workshops, or simply having meaningful conversations with people from different backgrounds. For example, by learning about a different philosophy or a new culture, you might find insights that resonate deeply with you and inspire you to see your life from a new perspective. Personal transformation through inner work also involves taking concrete actions that reflect our new understandings. It's not enough to understand our patterns. We must make real changes in our lives. For example, if you discover that one of your passions is art, but you have been working in a field that doesn't satisfy you, you might decide to dedicate more time to your passion, whether as a hobby or even as a career. These changes, although sometimes challenging, are essential for living in alignment with our authentic selves. Ultimately, inner work is a continuous journey. It's not something that's completed in a day, a week, or even a year. It's a process of constant transformation that accompanies us throughout our lives. Each layer of understanding and each change we make brings us closer to our true essence and allows us to live with greater fullness and purpose. Gurdjieff teaches that true personal transformation is possible and within everyone's reach, but it requires a deep commitment to oneself. By embarking on this journey of inner work, we break the chains of automatism and awaken to a life of authenticity, awareness, and meaning. It's a challenging path, but also incredibly rewarding, allowing us to discover and realize our highest potential. Point 6. The role of conscious will. Have you ever found yourself wanting to change something in your life, but feeling powerless to do so? George Gurdjieff teaches that the key to true transformation is conscious will. It's not just about wanting to change. It involves actively and sustainably directing our will. This power of conscious will allows us to overcome automatic mode and live a life of authentic choice and purpose. Conscious will is like a muscle that we need to exercise and strengthen. Initially, it may seem weak or non-existent, but with practice and perseverance, it becomes more robust and effective. Gurdjieff believed that most people live their lives dominated by momentary impulses and desires, without true internal direction. For example, you might want to eat healthier, but when faced with the temptation of junk food, you easily give in. Here is where conscious will comes into play. It is the force that allows you to resist immediate impulses and act according to your true goals and values. To develop conscious will, it is essential to start with small acts of self-discipline. These acts might seem insignificant, but each one strengthens your ability to make conscious decisions. For instance, you could decide to wake up 10 minutes earlier each day to meditate or plan your day. This simple act of getting up earlier, although small, is an exercise of conscious will that helps you take control of your time and mind. Practicing conscious will also involve setting clear and specific intentions. Gurdjieff urges us to be clear about what we want to achieve and why it is important to us. Instead of just saying, "I want to be fit," you could set a more specific and meaningful intention, such as, "I want to run a marathon to improve my health and prove to myself that I can achieve great goals." This clarity of intention provides you with a clear direction and purpose that guides your actions. Another technique for developing conscious will is visualization. By imagining yourself achieving your goals, you reinforce your determination and mentally prepare to overcome obstacles. For example, if you're working on an important project at work, you could visualize yourself completing it successfully and receiving recognition from your colleagues. This positive visualization strengthens your conscious will by constantly reminding you of your goal and what you need to do to achieve it. Gurdjieff also emphasized the importance of consistency and perseverance. Conscious will is not about making a great effort once, but maintaining a sustained effort over time. For example, if you decide to improve your physical condition, it's not enough to go to the gym once and expect results. You must commit to a regular exercise regimen and maintain it even when it is difficult or uncomfortable. This constant commitment is what builds and strengthens your conscious will. Moreover, conscious will helps us overcome life's challenges and difficulties. When we face obstacles, it's easy to give up and revert to our old automatic habits. However, conscious will provides the strength and resilience needed to keep moving forward. For example, if you're learning a new language and face the frustration of not progressing as fast as you would like, your conscious will pushes you to continue practicing and learning despite the difficulties. A fundamental aspect of conscious will is self-evaluation. Gurdjieff encourages us to regularly reflect on our progress and the necessary adjustments on our path towards our goals. This self-evaluation allows us to adjust our strategies and stay focused on our intentions. For instance, if you realize that you have not been consistent in your meditation practice, you can re-evaluate your daily routine and find a more suitable time to meditate, ensuring it becomes an integral part of your life. The power of conscious will also lies in its ability to transform our relationship with ourselves. By developing a strong and conscious will, we begin to see ourselves as beings capable of choosing and directing our own lives. This sense of agency and self-efficacy empowers us and gives us the confidence to pursue our dreams and aspirations. For example, achieving small victories through conscious will, like completing a difficult project or maintaining a new habit, builds a solid foundation of confidence in our ability to reach bigger goals. In summary, the role of conscious will in George Gurdjieff's philosophy is fundamental for personal transformation. It is the force that enables us to take control of our lives, overcome automatic impulses, and live according to our deepest values and goals. Through the practice of self-discipline, clarity of intention, visualization, perseverance, and self-evaluation, we can strengthen our conscious will and unlock our true potential. By developing and exercising our conscious will, we free ourselves from automatic mode and begin to live with full awareness and purpose, creating a life that reflects our most authentic and significant aspirations. Point 7. Creating a new reality through conscious effort. Have you ever wished to completely change your life but didn't know where to start? George Gurdjieff offers a powerful answer. Create a new reality through conscious effort. This concept is not just about working hard but doing so with intention, presence, and purpose. Through conscious effort, we can transform not only our external circumstances but also our inner self, leading to a more authentic and fulfilling life. Conscious effort begins with a clear vision of the reality you wish to create. Without a clear vision, our efforts can become scattered and lost in daily routines. Gurdjieff teaches us to define what we want to achieve and why. For example, if you wish to change careers, your vision might be to find a job that not only pays well but also excites you and allows for personal growth. This clarity guides and motivates you, providing a concrete direction for your efforts. A fundamental aspect of conscious effort is the practice of mindfulness. By being present and aware in each moment, we can direct our efforts more effectively. For instance, if you're working on an important project, instead of letting your mind wander or worrying about future tasks, focus completely on what you're doing now. This full concentration not only improves the quality of your work, but also allows you to enjoy and learn from each step of the process. Gurdjieff also encourages us to face our challenges with courage and determination. Conscious effort does not shy away from difficulties. It confronts them and uses them as opportunities for growth. For example, if you encounter an obstacle on your way to a goal, instead of giving up, use that challenge as a lesson to strengthen your determination and skills. If you want to learn to play a musical instrument, you might initially feel frustrated by the difficulty. However, by facing this challenge with conscious effort, you will practice regularly, improve your skills, and eventually enjoy the art of music. Another crucial element of conscious effort is consistency. Gurdjieff emphasizes the importance of maintaining our efforts over time, even when results are not immediate. For instance, if you are trying to adopt a healthier lifestyle, it's not enough to eat well and exercise for a week. You must commit to these habits consistently. Each daily choice, no matter how small, contributes to creating your new reality. Over time, these efforts accumulate and result in significant and lasting changes. Self-observation also plays a vital role in conscious effort. By observing our actions, thoughts, and emotions, we can adjust our focus and ensure we are aligned with our vision. For example, if you notice you are feeling unmotivated or distracted, self-observation allows you to identify the cause and make necessary adjustments. Perhaps you need to change your work environment, set smaller and more achievable goals, or simply take a break to recharge. Gurdjieff reminds us that conscious effort not only transforms our external reality, but also changes us internally. By working with intention and presence, we develop qualities such as discipline, patience, and resilience. These qualities not only help us achieve our goals, but also enrich our daily lives. For instance, by practicing patience in a difficult project, you not only make progress in the project, but also become a more patient person in other areas of your life, improving your relationships and emotional well-being. Moreover, conscious effort deepens our connection with ourselves and others. By living with intention and presence, our actions become more authentic and meaningful. This strengthens our relationships and allows us to contribute more positively to the community. For example, by dedicating time and conscious effort to helping others, whether through volunteering, mentoring, or simply being a good friend, you create a positive impact on their lives and, in turn, on your own. Finally, it is important to remember that conscious effort is an ongoing journey. It is not a final destination, but a process of continual growth and transformation. Each day offers new opportunities to practice and refine our conscious efforts. By embracing this journey with an open heart and a present mind, we continuously move towards a reality more aligned with our true desires and values. In conclusion, creating a new reality through conscious effort is a powerful practice taught by George Gurdjieff. By defining a clear vision, practicing mindfulness, facing challenges with determination, maintaining consistency, observing ourselves, and embracing internal growth, we can profoundly and meaningfully transform our lives. This conscious effort allows us to live with authenticity, purpose, and connection, creating a reality that reflects our deepest aspirations and values. Life is a wonderful journey full of potential and possibility, yet too often we find ourselves stuck on autopilot, repeating the same routines without questioning our purpose or direction. George Gurdjieff invites us to awaken and take conscious control of our lives, shedding the mechanicity that keeps us asleep. To achieve this, we must explore and apply 7 key points of his philosophy, each offering a pathway to a more fulfilling and authentic existence. The first step towards this transformation is the importance of self-knowledge. Knowing who you truly are, beyond roles and labels, is essential for breaking the cycle of automatism. By observing ourselves honestly, we discover our true motivations and behavioral patterns, allowing us to act with greater awareness and authenticity. Following this path, we encounter the power of awakening consciousness through self-remembering. This central concept of Gurdjieff urges us to remain present in every moment, continuously reminding ourselves of our existence and purpose. Practicing self-remembering extracts us from the sleep of automatic life and allows us to live with greater clarity and meaning. The power of self-observation is another essential pillar in this philosophy. Observing ourselves without judgment or criticism, simply noting our actions and emotions, gives us a clear perspective on our automatic patterns. This practice offers us the opportunity to choose conscious responses over automatic reactions, transforming the way we interact with the world. To free ourselves from the chains of automatism, we must also learn to break the chains of mechanicity. This involves disrupting our routines and habits to awaken our attention. Changing small things in our lives, questioning our beliefs, and cultivating creativity are effective ways to break the cycle of mechanicity and live with greater presence and purpose. The journey towards a more conscious life also requires personal transformation through inner work. This deep work involves confronting our shadows, accepting our weaknesses, and embracing self-acceptance. Through meditation, reflection, and radical honesty, we can transform our inner self and live more authentically and fully. The role of conscious will is crucial in this transformation process. Conscious will is the force that allows us to make intentional and sustained decisions, overcoming automatic impulses. By strengthening our will through self-discipline, clarity of intention, and consistency, we can direct our lives with greater control and purpose. Finally, creating a new reality requires conscious effort. It's not just about working hard but doing so with intention and presence. By defining a clear vision, practicing mindfulness, and maintaining a constant effort, we can transform both our external circumstances and our inner selves. This conscious effort allows us to live according to our deepest values and goals, creating a life that reflects our most authentic desires. Gurdjieff's philosophy is a powerful call to awaken from automatic life and live with full awareness. By applying these 7 points, we can break the chains of automatism and embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. Each step brings us closer to an authentic and full existence, where every moment is lived with intention and purpose. There is no better time to start this journey than now. Life is too precious to be lived on autopilot. By taking conscious control of our actions and decisions, we can unlock our true potential and create a reality filled with meaning and satisfaction. It's time to awaken, to look within ourselves, and to live life with our eyes wide open, embracing each day with renewed clarity and purpose. Let us follow the path that Gurdjieff has laid out for us and discover the depth and wonder of a life lived consciously.